Welcome to Squatch-D TV, where the truth is first before all else. Join your hosts, veteran investigator, TV personality, and author Steve Kulls, and from the Kentucky Bigfoot Research Project and the Kentucky Fried Fixes channel, Chris Bennett. Sit back and prepare to take yourself on a journey with the longest-running Bigfoot podcast, Squatch-D TV. Here are your hosts, Steve and Chris.
And good evening, cyberspace. Welcome to Squatch-D TV for today's date, January 4th, 2026. I'm your host, your guide, the Squatch Detective, Steve Kulls, along with my co-host with the most, right down there, Mr. Chris Bennett. What's up, Chris?
Hey, Steve, man, it's good to see you.
We got a heck of a fun show tonight for everybody. Of course, we are doing the call-in show, and it would help if I actually turned on the call-in line. Or get that queued up.
And I have a suggestion. Can we change our name to the Bigfoot Leering Center?
Yeah, we can leer a lot if you just listen.
I would hope so. Yes. Oh man, so much has been going on lately. Just not much we can really talk about. But it's been an interesting time. Nice weather here in Kentucky. I hope you guys are enjoying the same. Are you still under a bunch of snow?
Here we are doing a call-in show, and the device did not connect.
Oh, no.
No device connected on the Bluetooth.
Yeah, it never fails. That's okay.
Never flipping fails. So we're doing a call-in show tonight. So now I got to, pardon my French, I got to fuck around and play with this.
Well, that's all right. It'll be all right. We'll get it going. It always seems to work out in the end. Sometimes this thing puts up a little fight at the beginning, but
no, it shouldn't. Let's see. How the hell to turn your stupid thing off? Yeah, now it's like listening to me.
Yeah, Walter said, please deposit 25 cents for the next 2 minutes. Maybe you need to put some quarters in the...
Yeah, the one day I actually friggin' need this, and it's not working.
Oh, man.
Let's see. Where's the power?
Yes, you can do that, Walter. And when the operator asks you who it's for, you just tell them, it's a boy. I have a call for it's a boy. No, we won't accept those charges. Thank you. But now we know it's a boy. Oh. Cryptid conference call, please. Oh, yeah, Roy, that would be great, man. Good to see you, Roy. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's rolling in. Hey, guys. Good to see you.
We are on.
Is it working? Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
All right. So anyway, let's get back to our traveling music here for today.
Wrinkle ironed out. Ready to go.
I got to tell you, I am liking Facebook less and less every day.
Well, why is that? Well, I mean, I can't really say because I hardly ever sign into it, but...
Because the inmates are running the asylum so badly over there.
Yeah.
There is no, I want to keep in my own bubble.
Yeah.
But let's do our roll call real fast, and we'll get into all of that.
Oh, yeah. And
I'll explain all the debauchery that has gone on over the last few days, which really kind of got me laughing, saying, Anyway, first in tonight, Roy Longley. Hello, Roy. Good to see you. Walter Kroll in the house. Roker Gepta. Hello. Grant Rasha. What's going on? Danny Weeks over at Southern Sierra Bigfoot.
Danny.
Hello. The Mighty Mick. And Mick, I got your messages. Thank you, brother. They are very heartfelt, and the feeling is reciprocal, brother. We love our audience, as you know, especially our long-term folks that have been around for many, many years. Mitch Hargrove, good to see you, Mitch.
Hey, Mitch.
How are you, Reverend? Quantum Bigfoot from over the pond. The Susie Monster who had to sign up because the Steelers are in the fight of their life. Karen Fisher, hello. How are you? Ron Meldrum, Patrick Barron.
Hey, Ron.
Good evening, folks. Who else do we got in here? Don't want to miss anybody. Sandra Piper, hello. We already said Ron Meldrum. We already said Grasshopper. There he is. The Grasshopper's in there. Max Powers, what's going on?
Hey,
Mighty Max, how you doing? Who else we got? Jen, hello. Happy Sunday. Hope your birthday was great. The B-Tron, hello, B-Tron. Good to see you. John, Sasquatch Wizard, Adirondacks. Good to see you, brother. I got your message. I'll be responding forthwith. Tim Vogel, what's going on? Corn Cobb say hello.
Corn Cobb.
Who else we got? Gary Johnson, hello.
Hey,
always here, as he says. Who else we got? Mike Nation, what's going on?
Hey, Mike,
good to see you back. Hey, there's Mike. Tactical Bigfoot Research. Happy birthday, brother. Today's Mike's birthday. Happy birthday.
All right.
Tristan Kaiju Ninja 85.
Kaiju.
Good to see ya. Johnny, what's going on? Is Gianni Santano is in the house. Gianni, good to see him. We're seeing him every week. That's great. John Swan, hello. Welcome back, brother. It's been a while. Good to see ya.
I think that's everybody.
I hope that's everybody. All right, we got it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Wolf Lordbrand is in the house. Hello.
Hey, Wolf. Welcome.
So, it has been a trying week. Let me explain why. This gentleman posted these pictures on Facebook. I'm just trying to see if this is, how we say it, either a hoax or grandiosity,
Right.
all that. And I said, well, I have a few questions. First of all, can you tell me what equipment you shot that on? Can you tell me why the photograph seems to be cropped and not?
Right.
That is this a screen cap? Yada, yada, yada. And automatically I can't stand you. And this is not coming from the guy who took the photograph.
Whoa.
People like you think you're the Bigfoot police. Hey, blah, 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 blah. He doesn't owe you any answers. Well, actually.
Okay.
Let me restate that. He's the one who posted it in a public forum. Right? How does he not owe us answers if we want more information on it?
Well, if he just wants us just automatically.
And all I did was ask questions nicely.
Yeah.
I didn't come to any blah, 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 any determination about it. Didn't say anything negative.
And it's the kind of easy questions and simple questions that a legitimate person would have.
Right.
I mean, they easy to answer. Easy to answer. What kind of camera did you use? Oh, I used, this one.
So this goes on for about 20 minutes. And, she made a comment about people are just not open-minded. Well, how is asking questions not being open-minded? So I happen to retort back, she's so open-minded that her brain fell out. Because
that's a little rude.
Rude, but it was very rude the way she attacked me.
Yeah.
When by the Bigfoot police, and then I was like, as a matter of fact, yes, I am the Bigfoot police. Do you know why? I said, after doing this since 1998, almost 30 years, interviewing hundreds of legitimate witnesses, seeing 2 of my own creatures, traveling the 46 of the 50 states in search of this beast, being on countless TV programs, authoring 7 books, being asked to speak nationwide at conferences and festivals over the years. You're goddamn straight I'm the Bigfoot police. You don't like it? Tough noogies. And that's my rant for the night.
Ooh. Well, I would think that if you don't want to answer questions about your photo, you shouldn't put it up online for people to see. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Extraordinary evidence, like Henry May reminded us in our comments about last Friday's show. Extraordinary claims requires extraordinary evidence.
I mean, somebody puts up a picture. I mean, that sparks questions.
No, I'm not, because here's the end story of it. I believe the guy is a confabulator. I believe he actually believes what he's saying. He actually answered all the questions, gave me a thumbs up on my response, and answered all my questions. Right? Somebody put their dog in the fight that didn't need to. The guy who posted the pictures actually ignored this woman and went right to my comment and answered me. And my response was, all right, knowing that it could be pareidolia, absolutely, because apparently it was very zoomed in. That's why it was cropped, yada, yada, yada. So we'll just keep on keeping on, keep up the good fight, and, just take note of some of these things. That way you can build provenance. And I went into a long diatribe on provenance of pictures. What I asked these questions, not necessarily to debunk them, like everybody thinks I'm a debunker. Whoa. I am not just, I am an unbiased guy. I go in at a thousand different ways on it, but has nothing to do with me being a debunker of things. I'm actually not a debunker of things. And as a matter of fact, oops, I didn't want to put that up there, and it decides it's going to shoot up there anyway. But
if you're going to be a Bigfoot researcher or an investigator, you should ask questions. That's how we learn.
Like, all right, I'll put this comment up. That here's a Facebook post that I got the other day. My husband and I caught you at the Hocking Hills Fest this past summer and thought you were the best speaker as a hunter, but also as a skeptic that presents evidence as without bias. We appreciated the presentation and real evaluation without bias of all data in a case. Where you can list events. Where can we find a list of events where we can find you speaking next time? They really enjoyed my stuff, which I thought was really cool. So I appreciate
That's nice
that,
of them.
guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very nice.
So I directed them to the website and said, there's nothing up yet, but trust me, there will be a list coming up very quickly.
Yeah.
So, that being said, so you can understand my I'm not really grumpy about it. I'm kind of like going, oh.
Well, I just don't understand why somebody would post a picture on an open forum and not want to answer any questions.
The guy was completely in the clear.
Okay.
He completely in the clear. He had no problems answering the questions. It's just this follower of the page decided to chime in with, I can't stand people like you being, asking questions and yada, yada, yada.
So
right.
yes. You should be a follower, not a...
Right. He answered all the questions like that.
Okay, good.
So, the issue I have, and I think this is the problem, is that person is so entrenched in confirmation bias, right? They're so entrenched in confirmation bias that even questioning of somebody putting a picture up there, that they say, oh, wow, look at that. That's awesome. Yeah. They how dare you question this picture? How dare you? Listen, we're all not above reproach. People ask me, go ahead, ask You know, I also made mention that I also put the Vermont Trail Camp photo out there and the New York Baby video, aka the prison film.
Yeah.
Right. So,
and somebody made a comment on the new Monster Quest. Said you ought to be on the new Monster Quest.
So let's talk about some other things that are going on around the internet. And this is good fodder for when we open up the call lines, which we're going to be doing at the half of the hour here. We're going to open up the call lines at 9:30. This is just so some discussion, put some things in people's brains so we can talk about it. But Seth, our good friend Seth Breedlove made a post because they had, the first Monster Quest had aired. And Seth wrote, hey, listen, it's amazing how this show interviewed every single person we interviewed before.
Well, how can you do an interview without asking questions?
Well, no, I think what he's meant is they took all his witnesses for the shows.
Oh, okay.
Right. So, and you know what? I'm going to speak very unbiasedly about this. Number one, Seth, unfortunately, you don't own the witnesses. The witnesses are free to tell their stories to whoever they want and as many times as they want. And I get that and I understand that. And there's a feeling of hurt that they're just imitating what you're doing. And now they're being put on a national network. Right? I don't know why this is so whack. So, I get that. And I would be a little perturbed myself. We've been doing this podcast thing now for almost 20 years, Chris. We're getting there, right? This is this July will mark 7 years on YouTube. 7 years on YouTube already. This July.
Like just yesterday, yeah.
Right. Yesterday. Leprosy. All my skin is falling off of me. I'm half the man I used to be. Oh, how did I get leprosy? Anyway,
I would think that imitation is a form of flattery because if you're doing something right and somebody imitates that.
So my best advice is to hallmark that and use that as a jumping platform to revisit the episodes where you interviewed these people, because Seth does a far more deeper interview with these people, covers the story a little bit more in depth than these shows like Monster Quest, and not the old Monster Quest, these new shows, because Hollywood doesn't like to linger on things. They like to drive by fast. That way they feel that's what the people want.
Yeah. Yeah. And they do this selective editing too for the show, Somebody could be telling a story. We heard this large crashing coming through the woods. But and then they say, well, but it ended up it was a moose. Well, they'll leave that part out.
Yeah. But in this case, they're not covering it as in depth. And of course, the mainstream population, remember, we're in the TikTok world, brother. Everybody likes to be entertained for about 15 seconds. That's about a lot of folks' attention span. The people that have long attention spans and that actually become part of our audience and want more deep dives and internaling and getting to the real truth, well, those are a lot fewer than the general public, which can only stand about 10 seconds on a person. So yeah.
We get it.
Yeah. So if I was Seth, I would use that as a jumping platform. Say, hey, listen, you know what? You see this episode here? You want to hear the more in-depth or the more digging into this. Watch this video. And that would be a great springboard.
Chris, is that one on Telemundo? I have to check it out. That's Monster Quest. Monster
Quest on
check it out. Yeah, on Telemundo maybe.
No, that's coming to the all new Venezuela TV.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
Okay, I give. Peace.
See, we take everything with a bit of humor here.
Well, that was the thing. I mean, there was some Central American things. What were those guys called? Mapinguari.
The Mapinguari.
So that's a thing. It's a big.
Maybe they will be allowed back into Venezuela.
Maybe
never fails.
Maybe they'll go back. Do you think they migrated because of the administration there?
There is. I have no idea, Jen. You're going to have to do it. You're a moderator. You can remove it. So I have no idea how an email got in there.
Well, I could open up another window and see if I could get in there.
Yeah, apparently Trackware's email got in there.
Her.
We'll send everybody starts. Boris Khan, what's up?
I might ban myself if I get in here.
Oh, okay. There's Ward Wolfman says, for the biggest issue I had with the new episode is that it opened up with Martin Groves changing his story about the LBA once again. I think every time I've seen him, he has a different version. That's interesting. I'll have to take a look at. I didn't see it. Sorry, I did not watch it, but I'd be interested to compare his stories up and do a little bit of a investigator's take on that. So that may be something that.
Okay, I'm looking.
Yeah, personally, I didn't see that, but
I do not.
But anyhow,
I'm still looking. Go ahead, man.
But that is, part of maybe Jen already got rid of it because Jen does have moderator power, so she can.
I think so.
Delete a comment.
Yeah, I don't see it. So, wait a minute.
You find it?
No, I did not.
So that's Then there's another issue. Somebody that has been kind of parlaying us to do a show on their network. Not Brian Wolf. We're gonna get to the radio show on Brian. We had to put it off a little bit.
Love the Wolfman. Yeah.
Because Brian Wolf, great guy. He was our Santa. There's a lot going on in my life right now that we're trying to get. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have a final determination on the trajectory of everything. And I'll give you full disclosure. I have an investigation lined up, but unfortunately, I have an accident on my record that I need to get expunged from my driver's abstract because I was sitting there and the tractor trailer backed into me. Yeah. And they're trying to hold that against me.
Dude, that shouldn't be on you at all. No.
The background check company is.
Yeah.
So that has all been dealt with. So I'm hoping that tomorrow I will get the final ominous Dominicus and we can start proceeding with a game plan for 2026. Of course, this has put the whole month of January in limbo now, whereas I was hoping to be set and ready to go with the new start Monday, but unfortunately, or rather the weekend after, but unfortunately it has to be put off till the end of the month due to,
Well, that is unfortunate. But they should know better. I mean, they should know that if somebody runs over you, that's not your fault.
Right.
Oh, man. Okay, I couldn't find it anywhere, so I think we're good.
Wolf says you have to do a deep dive across the small town monsters work, as well as some of the other specials are out there, but he is always changing the details of encounter and making it more woo as the woo gets popular. Oh, exactly. Yeah. And that's not on Monster Quest. That's on Mr. Groves, what people are coming up and saying now.
Well, I've not seen the new one, so I don't know.
Right.
I'll reserve judgment until I get a episode or two under my belt. But I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping it's as good as the last one because I really did enjoy the old Monster Quest series.
Yeah,
with the Bigfoot related ones.
With a different producer, and through the rumor mill, I hear Mr. Highcheck is not necessarily happy about that either, because that was his kind of that was his baby.
Yeah.
And Mike Ann says it's not the same. And it's probably, as I fear, it's probably more in the ilk of Hollywood rather than what Monster Quest was originally.
Yeah. Well, when Doug would go out and they would find those witnesses, it would be new stuff.
Right.
Stuff that, a lot of people had never heard, or a witness that nobody had ever heard from yet at that time. And it was always good, always fascinating. And when we had Doug Highcheck on the show, I was asking him about this, and he said, "Oh yeah, we do the digging. We go back and knock on doors. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. And if they're not doing that now, that would be a shame, because Monster Quest had a good reputation, to uphold."
All right, so truth is out there for a minute. Okay, a little bit different. Yep. Yes.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, like I said, I think that, and I called that. I think the newer ones won't have those expeditions where they're actually trying to find evidence now. It's just more of a story recap. They don't actually have anybody they're following to go out into the woods.
Well, the only thing I had against it was the episode, instead of, calling it like Bigfoot in Kentucky, they called it the Hillbilly Beast.
Right.
Now, that was just mildly offensive, but it was still a good episode.
Right.
The Hillbilly Beast.
Hillbilly Beast.
Dude, there's hillbillies in West Virginia and Tennessee too, so.
And there's hillbillies in New York.
I guess, yeah, we're all over, dude.
But
coming to a town near you, yeah.
Getting back to the original part, where do people get off now? That you can't even be part of my French, and I won't do it, but you can't even be a flippin' researcher anymore. You can't ask questions. These people get highly offended by some of them. Well, I turned around. I basically said, "You're not a researcher. You're just a spectator. So please step aside."
Yeah. That's Curious Cryptid. Steve said that they'll probably have a lot of good AI segments rather than. I didn't mind that either. That's okay. That's pretty cool. It's pretty easy now. I mean, what they were doing, everybody, years ago, people were saying, "Oh my God, that's so cool." Now, my kid could do that in about 5 minutes with AI.
Poop. Everywhere. Poop.
That's for you, Jason.
Oh, yes. We would think so, yes. But, where and how, that's the trick.
Well, anyway, let's get the program on the road here. As we're going to open up the call lines, I'm going to give myself a minute. Chris, take over. I'm going to get my other beverage there, something a little colder.
I was checking out some of these comments. These guys are killing me over here.
Let me put the number up.
Hillbillies represent, yes.
So the call-in line is up. I'll be right back, Chris. Take over for 1 second. You can talk, interact. I'll be right.
If anybody wants to call in, it's 518-855-1450. You're welcome to call. Of course, Steve takes care of that on his end, so I won't know if you call in or not until you do. But if you want, it's not you're not obligated. But hey, Paranormal AP research team, welcome. Good to see you guys. And Pat Collins says they come through a portal just to poop. Okay, that may be the thing. that may be how they do it. I think our good friend Eric Beckchard had a theory that they turned invisible and could walk around in big cities like New York City and stuff. So,
hey, and if you're diametrically opposed to something, let's talk it out. Let's, if somebody calls in and says, "Well, I believe they are related to orbs," well, let's have a talk about that. And I won't do it in a demeaning way as long as the respect goes both ways. And that's what irked me about that one comment, was that it was so disrespectful. Who do you think you are? I'm sorry, is your name Karen?
Well, I think that is the orbs, as people call it. I think that is a phenomenon that is real. A lighted ball somewhere in nature. Okay, I think that's a fact. I also think that a lot of people, especially the paranormal guys, also take pictures at night and they get a dust particle and they say, "Look, that's an orb." No. That's not what I'm talking about. An orb. I'm talking about an actually glowing ball of light off in the distance that you could see move and stuff. But I don't think those two phenomena are related.
No, it's like you have, and then somebody pointed out another channel to me over on TikTok. And they said, "Well, what do you think of this video?" And the Bigfoot apparently disappears. And oh my God, it cloaked. It jumped into the portal or something to that effect. Then I go over to the actual TikTok channel, and there's all kinds of, there's the dog man, and there's this, and there's that. I'm like, another horse shit channel. Wherever they go, they find stuff every single time to put out hundreds and hundreds of videos of alleged evidence.
Oh, these guys are good. I mean, they got dog man, Bigfoot. Probably going in and out of portals and stuff. Cloaking, uncloaking.
That's a good point. There are orbs. There are deer and squirrels and orbs in the woods when orbs show up. Well, it goes back to the whole alien thing. Oh, hell, somebody saw a Bigfoot with an alien. Well, you know what? People have seen a cow with an alien, too, with the flying saucer over them as well during the cattle mutilation days. We never said the cows were aliens, did we?
Well, I think, spook light. Yeah, people call them that, too.
And there's other things. There's the Minnesota lights. There's the spook lights. There's the Lake
Marfa
Erie
lights. In this my local area here, they call them jack-o'-lanterns, which, I always thought that was stupid because it's not a jack-o'-lantern, it's a light, all right?
But that's where the term jack-o'-lantern came from, actually.
Floating orb? A ball of gas?
Yeah.
Creepy.
But creepy.
If you don't have them in your area, you could go
Bigfoot.
to Marfa, Texas on vacation. They got them there about every night. Yeah.
The Marfa lights, yes.
Yep. Yes, I don't know if that's Jesus Warrior or Jesus
Warrior.
Jesus Warrior.
Hello, good to see you again back.
Is there a new Monster Quest for real? Yeah, there's supposed to be.
There is. It aired last week. It probably airs at 10 o'clock on Fridays, 10 p.m. on Fridays on the History Channel.
I've not seen it, but, I'm going to, planning on it. I did see the new Naked Gun movie. We won't get on that.
Yes, Chris and I got a conversation, as sometimes we often do, as Chris and I will get after the show ends.
We go a lot of different directions, yes.
Well, Texas Jack, just think of this. If the cows are really aliens, we've been drinking their milk all these years.
We're probably hybrids, Probably hybrids. That's what it is. Part alien. we shouldn't say that because there's going to be some people, not here, but some people out there and on the internet that, that's it. We're all aliens.
Well, there are people that do believe that we're a hybrid of an alien and something else. And
Yes, I've seen that presentation.
yes.
It was very good. And they also believed, and I can't recall the guy's name that gave that presentation, but his opinion was that the Bigfoot creatures were the original Earthlings, and we are more or less supplanted by an alien race to take over the Earth, which because our biology doesn't match up too good with theirs. So I don't know. I find it a little bit difficult to accept, but it was an interesting presentation. Yeah, it was interesting. He had some good points, And it's kind of like that guy. There was this famous guy that always won all the storytelling contests out west, and he would mix in a little truth with some sort of fantastical things, and kind of bring them together, and would make you want to believe that what he was telling you was true, but it just wasn't. That's just not reality.
Now, there is, and again, we challenge anybody that differs from our opinions here to let's have a discussion. But nobody seems to want to do that. Are we in that bubble of the world now that everybody is going to stick to their sides and stick to it and not be open-minded? Because I certainly am open-minded about certain things. Like, you've never heard me say that, somebody says, well, I saw an orb near, when I was looking for Bigfoot. Well, how is that related to Bigfoot? It's like a very prestigious researcher who's been doing this since the 70s came up to me at a conference and said, Steve, there's something to this. I'm telling you. This woman reported to me she had an orb come up to her and push her down, pushed her in the chest and knocked her down.
Wow.
Well, number one, how do you know that's true? And number two, what does that have to do with Bigfoot if she didn't see a Bigfoot? Well, she was looking for Bigfoot. And I can be looking for Bigfoot and see a deer. That doesn't mean the deer is a Bigfoot or, Bigfoot's forest friend. Well, and there are still a few that will have that discussion. I remember we had we had great discussions over the years with people like Alex Midnight Walker and Jason and Eric Beckshard. We had a great conversation with him. Although that was kind of one-sided, but we let him go because, he.
And that showed me Alex was a great guest. But I think some of
and TAC brings up a good point if you want to put tax researcher, tax thing about folks with iPhones. So,
or all the folks with iPhones that are filming the sensors of other phones and call them orbs. That's interesting.
Right. And there's a reason for that. I actually had received a Ring camera interior camera film from somebody years ago, knowing that I'm into the paranormal, knowing that I've worked the paranormal cases before, and they wanted my honest opinion. And she said, I don't know what's causing it, but there's like these flashes of light going on that nobody seems to see except the Ring camera. Well, the Ring camera shoots in IR, and iPhones, and Chris, this is the same with yours, is do you, hang on a sec. Oh, yeah. Hang on. We'll talk about that in a minute, too. Tristan, we'll get to that. Some people put the link up to a sighting or a film in mine and asking what my take if they have my phone number. So sometimes people that know me personally text me in the middle of the show asking. So we'll get to that in a minute. Where was I going, Chris? Oh, the iPhones.
The iPhone's doing something, yeah.
Right. So I started looking at the film, and then I realized that, does your iPhone have facial recognition, Chris?
I don't know. I don't think it does. It's like a really old one. I've got like an iPhone 7
So the
or
newer
8,
ones,
7.
this is not an iPhone, this is a Droid, have facial recognition.
Yeah.
And what they do is every so often, when you look at it, it will beam an IR beam at your face
Yeah.
to see if that's you, to keep the phone open.
Yeah. Sandy's does that. Yeah.
Right? So when you put that under an IR light, it looks like there's flashes that are occurring.
Oh.
Right?
Oh my God.
Because it's using IR.
Freaking iPhone is haunted.
Yeah. So a lot of people were thinking, there's all these iPhone. And I quickly debunked that. I'm like, no, it emits an IR beam or an IR actual.
Oh, yeah.
No, that would be ultraviolet, Bill. Your phone is tanning you.
Well, that's the thing. With me, I use my ancient technology up until the day it just is destroyed, will not work another second.
Or Apple decides not to, update the technology.
And with my wife, she has to have the latest, greatest thing, whatever. Oh, we got an iPhone 38 came out. Okay, but you've got an iPhone 37 or whatever. No, need the new one.
So that gets me on to a lot of things is updating technology and my phone's always updating, my watch is always updating, which I love about my droids. And actually they've gotten to the point where it doesn't really interfere with very much. So unlike Microsoft Windows, which wants to, draw out the band and, you got to have a professional band march in front of your house as it updates and stuff like that. But where is I going with this? I have no idea.
Well, we were talking about orbs, and then we got off onto this.
Well, that's all fine.
The fake orbs from the iPhones.
So, and this goes into a little segue too, folks. If you have not signed up for the Bigfoot report,
I don't think that's gonna happen. Was it Misha or something like that? It's something like that. I can't remember. The tractor driving, cell phone using Bigfoot in Russia.
Right. All right, we do have an incoming call, so let's answer that. All righty, let's put it up here. Caller from the 518 area code, you're on with Squatch Detective Radio.
Hello, Steve. This is Jonathan Rafferty, Sasquatch Wizard Adirondacks. How are you?
John, how are you, brother? Good to hear from you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I got to thinking, with your investigative background, there was a situation about 4 years ago, maybe 5, where I had a black and white night vision, and it was aimed across the pond. And through that night vision, I saw what appeared in the night vision to look as if it was a round circular object. I do believe from that distance, probably a little bigger than a softball, but smaller than a dinner plate. This object appeared to look as if it was about 8-9 feet up off of the ground. Then there appeared a second light off to the right, left of it, viewing left, which would have been the object's right. And that was about the same distance up off the ground. I did a bunch of investigating over there, took a bunch of measurements and so on and so forth. But something that I've never really been able to get any insight on was what could have possibly caused me to see such a round object lit white in a black and white night vision? What are the options?
I have some options. What distance would you say it was from the night vision?
I would say probably about 75 yards with
All right.
a clear view.
So about 235 feet.
Okay.
Now, what instrument were you using?
It was a stealth cam, black and white night vision. Not a very powerful camera.
Right.
A very small viewfinder.
So, what was the resolution on it?
Well, you got me there.
Yeah. So my guess is it's a number of years ago. It's not a very expensive unit. It's at a distance of over 100 feet. So a lot of times, if there's two eyes looking back at you, they can merge into one due to pixelation or screen resolution. So what you may actually be looking at is a couple of two-eyed creatures. Could they have been owls or other fauna in the woods, as raccoons or other creatures of the forest popping up? Because they'll pop out and they'll look large, but because of the reflectivity of that. So unless there's a higher resolution one, ones at that distance can be a number of different things. So
a little more context to the area. This area, there was a small cliff right at the edge of a pond, and I'm on the opposite side of the pond. There was campers there. They were asleep in the tent. And the following weekend, I came in there, and there was campers in there again. I came in just after dark. And once, just prior to dark, I'm sorry, because by the time I got over there, it started getting dark. Once I got over there and realized that it was the same people from the weekend prior, I said, now it's my chance to go over there and talk to them about some other things amongst that. So there's a fire that has died down and has no more flame to it, but a bed of coals. There's a tent, and surrounded in that area, there's no small trees, saplings, but there are 4 or 5 very large white pine trees with no branches until you get 30, 40 feet in the air. Where the lights appeared to be were in front of the pine trees, but over or just behind the tents, because as the light moved, it never went behind any of the pine trees. I looked for reflectors, frying pans, talk to them about any backpacks that they may have hung.
And the funny thing is, too, is that reflectors will not emit a signature unless you're like really close and that IR beam is reflecting back at you. Right, because that's
really good to know.
Yeah, I mean, because at that distance, the IR, that dim little red light, is not going to light that reflector up to shine back. Reflectors are just pieces of plastic that happen to reflect light back when shined upon. So there's no reflectivity of a reflector, believe it or not. There's no internal mechanism to cause them to reflect unless they are receiving a beam. It's kind of like a tapetum lucidum. They don't reflect until the light hits them.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
And it was a night vision. It was a night vision, not a thermal, correct?
That's correct.
Right.
It was a black and white vision.
Yeah.
So, I mean, is
IR.
So is it possible they were, no, they wouldn't be using IR light sticks. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting stuff. But, of course, we understand that, you know, and this is the issue we've always talked about, John, you and I, is that the technology, even thermals, good IR, unless you're close up and get it head to toe, it isn't going to mean much in the investigation sense. It's going to be
Right.
it's going to be a mishmash of, I mean, is it possible? Yeah, absolutely. It's possible. It could be that. But to me, it could also possibly be a raccoon climbing up and taking a look back at you while you're sitting there. Or, I mean, I've seen an amazing thing through night vision, which was a mink going up a tree, and they corkscrew as they go up the tree. And it stopped. You know, of course, the branches are way above it yet. It still hasn't reached the branches, and it stopped to look back at us as it's corkscrewing up the tree.
Okay.
So it's hard. It's too difficult to say if that was a Bigfoot or not. But, you know, not knowing the lay of the land or not seeing necessarily what's going on or even looking for sign of something going up that tree or near that tree or by that tree, it's kind of hard to say.
Well, that, you know, some of what you just spoke about generates another question. You mentioned tapetum lucidum. So would it be reasonable to infer that if it was any eye reflection, that whatever had eyes over there would need a tapetum lucidum? Like if a human stood up over there, I shouldn't be seeing reflective
Correct.
light.
Correct.
Okay.
Unless you get up close
So
and
they
then,
were lying to
right.
me.
So if you ever looked at anybody through a night vision, everything is kind of reverse of everything. Like the eyes are dark, but the pupils are light. And it can do the same thing if you're wearing camouflage, as I tried to explain to people with the Vermont Trail Cam photo. You're not looking at light spots. You're actually looking at dark spots. And the reason why they're coming back as these white spots on it is because of that inert effect of night vision. My camouflage I was wearing for the test shot, that I was wearing desert camo, where it shows, you know, the dark and light patterns. If you look at my camo, it's actually the reverse, where it shows darker areas of the camo. It was actually lighter, and where it was lighter, it was darker.
I see. Because I was thinking possibly a hovering bird of some sort.
Right,
It
yeah.
did have some slight movement.
Right. And that time of night, it would probably be an owl of some sort, which do have very large eyes. Barred owls, especially in New York, are very, very common, and they do have very large eyes that would do that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it.
Yep.
I really do.
And those eyes
that's
may
some good
not
information.
even be reflecting off of your beam. They may be reflecting off of some light source near the campsite they're at.
Yeah, if they had a fire or something. Yeah.
They all said that they were asleep, and the only
Sure.
other incident that would support it being any type of a large mammal would have been the fact that when I interviewed them, I asked them if they had heard anything in and around 3 a.m. And by gosh, the one fella had said, yeah, absolutely. We must have had like a bear coming in or something, because he pointed right over, which would have been their camp to the right. And he said, I heard that thing snapping branches, and he goes, I just figured it was a bear. And I was like, holy shit, you know, what part of my French? I was like, yeah, I heard that too. And I was filming over that way when that happened. And he said that he just kind of moved around in his sleeping bag just a little bit, but that he didn't get out of the tent or anything. And the rest of them said nobody heard it other than him.
Right.
And nobody else was out of the tent at 3 a.m.
Very interesting. Very interesting. And so it could be a bear. It could be, raccoons are not quiet either. They can be quite cantankerous too. But I guess if they didn't hear chattering or anything like that, bears are usually quiet most of the time anyway, or they and you may not hear that from a distance either. So
that bear would have had to have been on his hind legs. And the measurements that I've taken, where I've actually set up the camera on the one side
Sure.
of the pond, and went over and measured the distance from the water level to the top of the cliff, and then from the cliff up to a couple markers on the pine trees to get a good judge of
Sure.
height. As long as that object was in front of those pine trees, it had to have been 7 to 8, maybe even 9 feet up off of the ground. And the one to the left, my left, would have been about the same distance.
Gotcha.
Up.
And they didn't have any hanging food bags or anything like that. 'Cause somebody asked, Paranormal AP Research, good to have you back again. Asked about, could it be a hanging, bag or something like that? But you said, was there any movement at all with these lights? You said there was some movement, if I recall.
The very first one that I saw, which was the most prominent, it had a little bit of movement, and I was actually messing around with the night vision, moving myself to see if it was me, moving back and forth, and there was something on a lens or, to
Gotcha.
see if it would move, if I moved. And then I held perfectly still, and it just started to move just a little bit this way and just a little bit back that way. And then, eventually they just went away.
Right. Yeah. That doesn't sound like a hanging bag to me. Really.
They
because
said they didn't have anything hanging on the trees.
Right. There you go. So there's your answer right there.
Yeah, they said they didn't, but it was dark, and I'm not, I'll take their word for what it's worth. They didn't seem like they wanted to fib me, but who knows? I mean,
yeah. Alex just put a comment in. If I send the complicated math equation, does that count for the challenge part? There's 3 things we don't talk about on this channel. We don't talk about politics, we don't talk about religion, and we don't talk about math. Math is no bueno.
Math is good.
I hate math.
Well, I'm not very good at it.
Great hanging with you guys here for a minute. I really appreciate that information.
Good talking to you, John.
It's helping out.
Anytime, brother. All right, we'll catch you soon.
Thanks,
Take
John.
care, guys.
What a great guy.
Yes,
What a great guy.
John is awesome.
Fascinating stuff,
Yeah.
And legitimate question to question his evidence. What could this be?
Right.
I like that. That shows thought. He's not running to the newspaper saying, "Look, I got Bigfoot." No, he's saying,
That
"What
either,
is this?"
That either.
Yeah. Mick, did you get you guys? I saw a comment earlier about some stuff you were issued in the 80s. Was that be like what was called a starlight scope, which were about this big around?
Yeah.
Had to be on special mounts to hold it up above the thing it was on. Yeah, I know what you're talking about there, bud. That's military stuff. And that was cutting edge technology back then too. And you know what? Not too bad. Not too bad. Of course, now we have these. I can't remember the brand they're calling, but they're night vision binoculars that has a 4-inch screen inside, and that's much better than anything they had in the 80s. It's awesome.
Oh well, you've seen the night vision I deploy, where you can see down the road clear as day.
Yeah.
And because it's so big, as it's a binocular technically, I like deploying that with the tripod.
Right.
Because just set it up, let it shoot on, and it will run 8, 12, 14, 16 hours on a set of batteries and not have to worry about it. Yeah. And I can record, and it won't burn out the card because I got a good sized card in there.
Right. Well, I've noticed on those night vision binoculars, okay, mine has, I guess yours is the same way. It has 3 settings for the IR output. And you can have it on low, and that's fine. If you put it on medium or high, anything that's within 25 feet of you is just whited out. It's like it puts
Right.
out so much of the infrared signal. It's just bright white.
Yeah, you can't use IR with a lot of close-in brush. You're
Right.
like, oh, ah,
Right.
ah, ooh. So yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grant, I think they were called Fister something. Fiste. I
Yes,
can't
Pfister, not
remember.
Fisher Price.
I can't remember, but I think that's what it was. Yeah, it was a starlight scope. Fisher
But-
Price. So yeah, I got you.
With the night vision scope, I got. See, there's a difference between IR and therm, and you want to make sure that a lot of those scopes, Chris, unfortunately, don't have recording capabilities or had recording capabilities
Yeah.
back 10
Yeah.
years ago. Now, they all come with recording capabilities, and
Right.
you can record. Everything has a slot for an SD card, or
They'll do video. A lot of times now they'll even do video with audio.
Right.
So yeah, it's unbelievable. I was looking at one. It was a thermal. I think it was a 1024 by 648 or something like that, which is really good.
Yeah. And now they even have ones like Reverend Quantum says that mine can actually, you can Bluetooth it or Wi-Fi it to a tablet or to a computer, and you can actually watch the images
Right.
as they come out, or you can Bluetooth it not only to a tablet or a phone
Right.
using the Android system, but you can also record it or locally to your Android or to your tablet, as well as having the onboard recording, which is wonderful because now you have a backup recording of everything.
Yeah, I was shopping around through some of those thermal scopes, just a few days ago actually, and I was trying to say, well, what would the best one they got right now cost? And it's around $7,000-8,000, for like 1024 resolution, which that's a lot. That is a lot when you're talking about thermal.
Yeah, and as far as
High
thermals,
definition. Yeah.
Study Sasquatch made a great point that blended is not good, it introduces a lot of information you don't need. And that's very true. I tend to use white hot. That's my favorite one to use for these things. It gives you the most natural picture. Whereas, some people like using black hot. I prefer white hot. It's just my preference.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can get some. A lot of people talking about the Thor and the AGMs and stuff. Yeah, they've got some decent price range for thermals. You can get in pretty decent. But now, what I was talking about is the kind of stuff where it looks like a HD video, and you're like, oh my god, And it was shot completely at night in the dark.
I am the lucky SOB here that his FLIR Scout died on him. The connector broke on it.
Yeah.
And internally. And I was a lucky SOB who got the $1,200 Lorex thermal imaging scope, camera, whatever you want to call it, for $250.
Well,
Open box.
That was a pretty good deal. A pretty good deal.
And rock solid machine.
If I could find one of them $7,000 scopes for $900, I would probably give it up.
I tell you, I was looking to go into Hawk on one of those new scopes, but I was just fortunate enough.
Cool. Texas Bigfoot says he has that Pulsar 1024 resolution binocular. Said the field of view is awesome. That's why I use red monochrome.
Well, I use, that's the therm. I have a night vision, which I believe it's a night owl. I forget who. But I got that for under $300. And man, you put that, it's not durable construction. It's mainly plastic. It's not made heavy duty.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why I don't lunk it around the woods as much. It's not only is it big, but it's very cumbersome, but it's also very fragile. So I just assume put that up, line of sight it on a roadway, let it run, and let it go that way.
Kaiju Ninja says, "What's the best thermal scope at an affordable price?" Well, man, they're all expensive. They're all expensive, and I don't have
Well,
any.
it depends on what you consider expensive.
Yeah, well, okay, something over $1,000
But
bucks.
AGN has a lot of good equipment that's comparable to FLIR,
Yeah.
but lower in price point. I think ATN is another company. It's very similar. So there's AGN, there's ATN.
It depends on the resolution. Yeah, as the more resolution you get, the more it costs. But when you look at the difference, it's like wow. You know, that 1024 resolution is just unbelievable.
Yeah, I saw one of those when I went down to the Kentucky expedition back in was that before COVID? Could have been 2019. I went down
Can't
there.
remember.
2019, I think I went down.
Yeah.
And I saw the ATN and I'm like, wow. And of course, I was running around with the Scout. And I get in a fight with a whippoorwill. And then
Hey, that Scout still worked pretty good, I thought. You know, I thought it was pretty good. I was highly impressed with it. Of course, you know, I have nothing. All right. I've got the you inspired me to buy the night vision binoculars, which I was thoroughly impressed with those.
Yeah. Oh, I love those.
I saw Steve's and I thought, I gotta have some of these. I don't care. I gotta have them.
Truth be told, the first one I had of those had a problem a year afterwards. It wouldn't boot up.
Yeah.
And they said, well, you're like 6 days out of warranty. I said, well, I'm a podcaster and I'd hate to,
6 days.
Sure as hell, they sent me a new one. So they backed their merchandise up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Dad had the same problem with a riding lawnmower. Had a 1 year warranty, and I think 1 year and 2 weeks the rear end blew out.
Right.
And they said, "Oh no, the warranty was up 2 weeks ago."
Ugh.
Okay, fine, that's fine. Never bought another one there.
Yeah.
Oh man. Alex Pettercross says, speaking of thermals, what the studies at Study Squatch crew is doing with their custom thermals is incredible.
Right.
Seeing it firsthand is definitely the right approach. Amen.
Correct. Absolutely. Yeah, we got to get those guys on our show.
Yeah.
So, hey guys, at Study Sasquatch, reach out to me. Well, we'll get you on the show. I want to look at some of your stuff and let's showcase some of that thermal stuff.
Yeah, that's finding the track with. Unfortunately, the thing about thermals is they have a finite and measurable life. And that's what would scare me, especially if I bought the one for 7 or 8K. Okay.
Now I gotta tell you, Mike from Texas Bigfoot Rangers, man, he always has the get up and a half with numbers of thermals. He's got his boat set up. He goes down the the bottoms.
That's it. Yes.
And he's got thermals everywhere.
That's
and
it.
He's got a research vehicle. I know he's got a new one since I saw him last.
Yeah.
And
that's what I wanted, man. I wanted to set up like Matt Moneymaker had in his Escalade, and I wanted to put that in about a 16-foot flat bottom boat and cruise down Green River about.
So let me
midnight.
just Corncob ask: can you use thermovision or night vision in daytime? Night vision, do not use it in daytime. You will burn that sensor out.
Yep.
Not even a thermal now, a little bit more wary on that. Just make sure you don't point it up at the sky when you're using a thermal during the day, because you can blow out a sensor if you get direct sunlight at it.
Steve, hang on, I'll be right back.
All right. But yes, I'd love to get you guys on the show, and even you, Mike, and show off what you got. Send me some pictures and talk about it. Maybe a good tech show would be fun. That is really cool. Yeah, there's been times, and unfortunately, the best thermal that I had gotten was back in 2013 using a very old FLIR model that actually wasn't even mine. It was one of my expedition members. and we had captured a bunch of stills because it wouldn't take video at the time. So Mick asks, with advancements in AI, eventually we'll get more realistic renditions of Sasquatch showing up on the internet as a resource that people can use to sift through the fakery. Yes, AI will detect AI pretty easily. One of the biggest things you could do with any generated photograph is run it through an error level analysis test, and that will tell you whether or not the picture's layered or not, because the way AI images are put together is they're layered. First you get the background, then you get the noise, then you get the more noise, and then you get the subject of the picture, and then you get some more noise in front of them, some more stuff. So AI is really great at doing it. Yes, you can trust AI there, Grant. Trust me on that. You can trust it on certain things. It's because certain people are having some issues with it or not inquiring it properly. But yeah, you can trust an AI to run an error level analysis test on things. You know, it's not great for writing legal briefs. It's not, unless you prompt it properly, which people do not. It's not the AI that's making mistakes. It's the people that are entering the information into it to run these tests or to run different things.
Lori's got a good point here. So here's the thing. Us dudes that go out and do the work have much more success than Moneymaker. We just do not have the money. I would love to have Moneymaker's setup he had in that Escalade. Would love to put that on a boat and cruise down Green River about midnight to 4 a.m.
Well, you cannot trust it at all, but you're going to be left behind because that is the forward run of things. And AI is really good at a lot of different things. And you just got to sit through one of my presentations, you'll understand. That's the question I just answered.
Yeah, that's the thing. AI, as far as having AI presented as evidence, that's not a concern, Mick. Not at all. No.
And here's the interesting thing, is you can do a psychological profile on things depending on what you put into the AI to study. Like I have the crime classification manual. I can look at a murder scene and have that discern what it can and tell me what it can't discern. So it all depends on the language you put in it. People say, well, it made stuff up. Well, did you tell it not to make stuff up? Because you're giving it a blank template, it's going to fill in those blanks. So anything that's not there, you leave blank. Okay. And it understands that.
No, Moneymaker was not driving it down a river. I wanted to take that setup he had down the river on a flat bottom boat. It was some sort of marine thing or something. I don't know. It was cool. But it was also thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I've been seeing this picture of the alleged Bigfoot in a tree. And there's people, second person, Tristan actually sent it to me too.
Are we talking about a porcupine? What are we talking about? Somebody likes The Mandalorian.
Hang on 1 second, 661. We're going to get you on in a minute, but I just want to finish my thought on that. And that is, if there's no provenance to any of it, the who, what, when, where, and why, it's garbage. End of story. You don't even need to look at the film. Could it be AI? It could absolutely be AI too. I haven't run it through the test, nor will I bother because there's no provenance to it. If there's no provenance, there's no sense in even bother going to the next level. We don't know who shot it, what they shot it with, where they shot it, when they shot it, and where were the circumstances behind it and why it's cropped and why it's like shot in the vertical format and not the horizontal format and all that fun stuff. Well, why even bother going into the rest of it? It's garbage. It's not evidence. Okay, 661, you're on with the Squatch Detective and Chris. What's up?
Steve, how's the echo? Are we getting echo?
No echo today.
I'm not hearing you.
Well, that's a problem
No
on
echo.
your end, and that's a problem on your end because we hear you
I
just
think I'm probably
fine.
gonna have to call back.
It's working here.
Steve, you hear me?
Well, we do hear you,
I can hear you.
661, but unfortunately, you don't hear us. And that's not a problem on my side.
Back on it. Try recall. Yeah, call back in. See what's
Well, it's that damn Google. People have trouble with their Google. They're trying to call with the Google voice or whatever, but
I want to escalate too, Lori. I've been looking for one for a while. Yeah. But like RVs, those things are not cheap either. I mean, you know, unless you get an old beater, and I really don't want one of those kind of Escalades. I'll drive the old Humar.
the Humar. What's that?
The
French?
Humar.
The French Hummer?
No, just the cheap Hummer.
Humar.
The antique. Yeah,
You got it
the
from
antique.
Temu.
It's an old Hummer.
I got it down in the Baja.
Oh, Helix Khan just got a new Jeep Gladiator. Oh, wow. Those are cool. Oh, Wolfman Wooly says, question. When there is an area of high daytime activity, just curious why there aren't more drones used and why there aren't any close-ups of them.
I know Tristan keeps sending me pictures off this one particular video, and I know the one he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the guys I exposed for putting out horse shit out on the web. That they just collects these things that have no provenance that somebody created with AI over on TikTok. So he brings them over to YouTube because he can't get hit with a copyright infraction, and he does that.
Yeah.
He's as phony as everybody else.
And Wolfman Willie, you know, talking about using drones for daytime stuff. I think a lot of people are starting to use more drones now. But, you know, it's a thing.
Not in New York.
Yeah, it just depends on where you're at. That's the thing.
Because in New York, there's so many laws where you can fly a drone, where you can't, that it makes it too complicated. They take the fun out of things.
Yeah. And the newer drones that have been coming out the last couple of years.
Don't apologize, Tristan. I get you, but I think they're all AI.
Much better about letting you don't have to be a perfect pilot to pilot them. You know, you control them with your phone and you punch a button and they'll land, you know, or hover.
Right. Traffic drones. That's crazy. Yeah, they, New York, like half the state parks, you can't fly a drone. You can't fly a drone in the Adirondacks a lot of places because, it'll crash and it'll burn up and it'll cause a forest fire. That's their reasoning.
Well, it could happen, I guess, but, you know, not likely, I wouldn't think.
But it's okay to fly a drone over a city where it could crash and burn and start a fire, too.
I've crashed drones before. None of them ever, you know, caught fire or exploded spectacularly. More or less, it was just broken plastic pieces. That was about it. But I think it's a good call, though, to use drones while doing Bigfoot research. And if you see one while you're out and you have a drone, make sure your drone's got fish hooks.
But you see, here's the
slide into him.
Yeah. Here's the other issue, though. Unless you're with an extensive team, right? Mm-hmm. If you deploy too much technology, like, okay, I can drop a recorder done, I can drop this done. A drone you have to fly, so that's going to take all your attention away from what's going on around you.
Yep.
So that's why I don't use a drone. You know, if I use a drone, it'll be for video purposes and make things look pretty and stuff like that. But to me, unless I'm with a team where somebody has a drone, okay, put the drone up. You're in charge of the aerial surveillance. Done.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But if I'm not going to do that all. I'm not going to be everything when I get out there. I'm going to deploy this, I'm going to deploy that. I'm going to put my drone up. And look around. The drone or stuff that you got to constantly look at, take away from everything else.
Right. Well, they've got them now where, you can, have it take off and then you can set it to track you. And as you're walking along, the thing will fly along with you. Those are cool. Those are cool. But, and, they got obstacle avoidance now. That's cool. And, I've never had anything like that. The only thing I had was stuff we bought for the kid. And
even my cheap one had obstacle avoidance. It's pretty easy because they can integrate that into the GPS tracking of them. Mine had mine was like under $150, and mine I could fly back and land, at the push of a button. But the problem was the picture sucked. It's very wobbly. There was no stabilization in it.
Oh yeah. They fixed that.
But because of DJI, which was the majority drone supplier here in the United States, it's a Chinese company, and they ran into some big issues with their chips and stuff like that, and the possibility that people could hack them and send the videos over to China for surveillance purposes. So they've kind of outlawed them right now. That's why I went to Best Buy one day, and the DJI display they had there was completely empty. All the drones were pulled.
Well, those are cool too, man. I mean, those little ones that will track
DJI
you
made
and stuff.
a seriously great drone.
Yeah. And they had different sizes. I saw some of them are little bitty pocket things, about the size of your land on your cell phone. Little small things. But I wouldn't want to send one of those out in the woods.
But the issue with that is that DJI was also the lowest price of the high quality drones you could get. You could spend $1,000 and have a drone that is good as some of the $3,000-$4,000 ones that are out there.
Yeah. It would be kind of neat to have that as a tool in your arsenal while you're out, though, especially if you're on one side of the river and you hear noise on the other side of the river. You can send your little drone over there to look around, see what's going on.
But while you're setting your drone up and getting it proper landing pad and taking it off
gone.
and everything, how much information are you going to miss?
Everything, yes.
Right. So I'd rather just pull my therm out and start looking around. There it is.
Yeah.
What's making the noise?
Them rascals
Not necessarily a Bigfoot, but whatever's making the noise. Okay, I see what's making the noise.
Yeah, the forest ninjas, they rely heavily on your perception of things going on to fool your ass. Excuse my language.
Not to get off topic, but e-bikes, man, they are a pain in the ass.
E-bikes.
Yeah, a lot of people are using e-bikes. They're electric powered bicycles.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
There's plenty wrong. There's plenty wrong with that.
Why?
Because every person in the hood, at least where we are in upstate New York, is driving them around like madmen in an area where there's a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit.
Oh, okay.
In the city, and they're zipping around 34 miles an hour, whipping in between cars and stuff like that, not following the traffic rules, going against traffic, going with traffic, cutting across traffic, cutting in and out, weaving in and out. You're going, come on. I see it every day. You forget I drive for a living.
I know.
And one of these a-holes is going to get clipped.
Yes, it'll happen.
And what's going to be the excuse? Is it my fault because they're driving a bicycle when in actuality they're driving a motorized vehicle, not following any of the rules? And not to mention, one of those a-holes hits your car and puts a dent in it. Who's going to pay for that? Me, because it's going to come off of my insurance because that does not need to be insured.
Okay.
Oh, it's horrible. The e-bikes are horrible.
Well, I mean, they have their use. I mean, I could see, Yeah, an e-bike for Bigfooting, that would be cool if you're
That would be
in
fun.
an area where it would work. Yeah.
But I'm telling you, they need to be registered. They need in New York. They need to be registered. They need to have some sort of insurance on them. They need to follow the
I
rules.
can
of
see
the road.
the problems you're describing. I can see that would be
Oh,
an issue.
I can
yeah.
because everybody's driving 25 miles an hour following the speed limit, or say you crank it up to 30. Here's an e-bike going by you doing 45. Right?
Get out of my yard. Get off my lawn.
I've actually been an e-bike that's decided he's going to drive down the middle of the road and act like he's a motor vehicle. Yeah, it's. I have no love for e-bikes because of what I have to drive through.
Well, yeah, the world is filled with people, and some of those people aren't too savvy about being smart. And it'll come back to get them eventually. They'll wreck or do something stupid, run into somebody's door. Oh man,
I sure did.
that's it. Yeah, stay out of my yard.
Stay off the lawn.
That's it.
Get off the lawn. Yeah, well, Grant, if there's laws for e-bikes, I have no knowledge of them. They certainly don't know what they are and where I deliver stuff.
Well, I like stuff like that. Okay, you look at me and you think, well, he's an old man. Dude, I put an 80cc engine on a bicycle.
Good point, Alex. Good
about
point.
20 years ago, and it liked to have killed me. It threw me over the handlebars at 35 miles an hour, at least 35, and broke my shoulder. It about killed me. So, I hadn't been on a bicycle too often since then, especially one with a motor on it.
Oh, I used to zip around in a 10-speed all the time when I was in my youth. I've had accidents. I've had, hell, I got all these scars up here because of a bike accident.
Oh, man. But, the motorized bikes would be
That's
pretty
a
cool.
good idea, Grant.
The
But
electric bikes is good.
in the cities that I live in, they just don't care about traffic. They don't. They do not care about traffic. They're too busy.
Yeah, I think the electric ones would be pretty cool. If you had a spot where you could, go. If you're on a walking trail going looking around, you could drive that over there if they allowed it.
I believe Matt uses an e-bike.
Yeah, I believe he does. Yeah. Yeah, well, wait a minute. I think Matt had a wreck on his too at one time, didn't he?
The Amish here all ride e-bikes. Isn't that interesting? How do they charge them?
That's interesting.
They plug it into the windmill.
Well, I think the ones around here they can use solar panels and a battery. That's I think that's okay, but they just can't plug it into the wall from the electric company. But now they can use solar panels and batteries. So that's pretty interesting. But I have seen most of the Amish around here. They have these little scooters. It's like a kid's scooter that no motor. You stand on it and kick with one leg, and you have handlebars. You could steer it, but you got to stand up while you ride it. And that didn't look very comfortable to me, but would probably sure beat walking for certain.
Well, Nathan, it's good to have you here, brother. And hello to Brian McMahon, who just popped up. So, I tell you, e-bikes are bikes for old people. So they have to pedal as hard.
Well, I tried riding a bike a few years ago, and it's not as easy as I remember. You get out of breath, or I get out of breath pretty quick now. So things are a lot different.
Are you kidding? The first form of transportation. This is what Chris heard. Stroke. 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 Stroke.
No, dude.
Over there on the Viking boat.
When I was in my younger days, I would think nothing of riding, 7 or 8 miles to one town, and then riding another, 5 or 6 miles to the next town, and then riding another, 15 miles back to my house, and I didn't think anything about it. Now, I couldn't ride the mailbox and back without getting out of breath.
I can't even prop it,
Things-
even with
things
the
change.
e-bike, I get, you prop it up, you can't.
But now, if it was electric powered, or yeah, dude, I'm in for a good long ride. Let's go.
Yeah, Mick goes Amish on e-bikes. Yeah, I know. There's a joke there somewhere. There's a joke
I've
there.
not seen that. I've not seen that, but I think it's theoretically possible because they are allowed to use solar panels, and if they can use that and batteries, well.
I tell you what.
Well, shoot.
I saw an Amish guy on an e-bike and thought, wow, that's the quietest midlife crisis I've ever seen.
The Amish here, are hardcore. They take horses and buggies.
Well, no, they you know what? Now they have embraced the e-bike. So they have built it on two standards, faith and lithium.
Well, that's the thing that gives me an idea. Maybe we've got a pretty prominent Amish community around here, and maybe the next time I go to visit one of their businesses, I should ask around if you guys, anybody seen anything or heard anything weird out in the woods. Maybe there's some witnesses there. Of course, I don't think they'd want to be on the show and talk about it, but they might talk to me in person about
it. They call it selective technology.
Yeah. That's the thing. No, we did have a guy, mom and dad had sheep at one time. And of course, they just raised them to have, oh, look at the sheep. Okay. It's not like, but they had to be sheared like once a year. I think it was once a year. Yeah. You shear them. And of course, mom and dad didn't know how to do that, didn't want to do that. So they would call this Amish guy, and he would come in and he would shear the wool for half of it. And he was tickled to death to do that. And of course, they're like, well, you could go ahead and take the wool if you want it. But he used a set of electric shears, or I suppose they were electric.
Battery powered.
He used a gas generator or an engine that ran these shears. So that was acceptable. All right. That was acceptable, evidently.
I don't know. Well, they kind of got to get into the 21st century as it is. For some reasons, I mean, you have healthcare reasons to do that, and you have crime reasons. There are crime that are committed against the Amish at times.
Yeah. But that's we got a pretty good sized community around here, and they're pretty nice people. Can't really say I've had any problems with them.
I really don't. David, I do not necessarily hate e-bikes, but I hate some of the people that use them just because they're stupid and they're going to get themselves killed. And then
Steve doesn't hate e-bikes; he hates stupid people.
Right. Right. Oh, man. And it's right for all the stuff that we have. It's like AI. I hate the fact that so many people are tainted against AI because of stupid people doing stupid things with it.
Yeah.
Right? It's really a powerful tool if you know how to use it properly. The problem is people think they know how to use it properly and go in and try something, and it comes out with bogus results and that's why that we were constantly, revamping stuff and looking at the way we do things and what it's using to complete the tasks. So when I use AI to analyze a photograph, it is using the same tools that I use on, say, photo forensics, except for it's doing it, all in one shot, boom. And it will give me a summary of whether or not this photograph is real or not and why. It's taken that whole me having to interpret all the readings out of it.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. And and trust me that I don't like using that word trust me, but I have not trusted AI to go back to double check things, to do it manually and a side by side manual, and it's only correct.
No, we have the true hardcore Amish community near us. There are some Mennonites, but those I think they're like about 45 miles away.
And about 5 years ago, we had a meteorite on the show.
Yeah, sure did. Live. Not many people can say that. We featured a live meteorite explosion.
We did.
We did, yeah. And it was on the news. It was on the news.
I was sitting there going,
yeah.
Did a tree fall down? I got up. I have to be
tree fall on the house?
Because I just heard boom, boom.
What was that?
What was that?
Oh,
and then next morning I get people saw this green light in the sky and an explosion over Saratoga County, which is where I lived at the time. Oh, no, that was a meteorite. That was confirmed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a meteorite.
You can tell by the peanuts on them. And the corn. Don't forget the corn.
Oh, man. But the Mennonite guys, they're kind of odd. I'm not saying anything against them, but I saw they took like a newer car, or actually it was a newer van, and they took the hubcaps off of it, and all the chrome molding and the grill and stuff, the chrome side molding, they spray painted it black with a spray can. It looked terrible, but they would take a new looking vehicle and paint over all the chrome and stuff.
And that's because chrome reflects the image thing. They don't like their photographs being taken. The Amish.
Yeah. They don't like a spiffy looking vehicle.
They do not have. I don't know if there's a ruling against mirrors in an Amish house or not.
I don't know.
Roger that. Good to hear, Nathan. I'd love to get you on the show and talk about some of your stuff going on.
We got everybody put their aluminum foil hat on here. Steve Curious Cryptid says a meteorite was the cover story. UFO was dropping off a Bigfoot family after vacation to Zeta. Okay.
It would have been more curious if they had Zorth part of it. Was Zorth flying it? Nah, the mirrors thinks it's vampires.
Well, the Amish, they don't do motorized vehicles, but the Mennonite people do, and I've seen some of them over Glasgow. But, it's kind of struck me as odd. They took a nice-looking vehicle and just kind of uglied it up. Whatever floats your boat.
Always amazing how nobody ever wants to discuss an opposing viewpoint with me. People talk
Let me
to
think
me.
of one. I'm trying to think something that we don't see eye to eye on. That's difficult.
Yeah.
I don't know. Even the ghost thing, which I'm skeptical about. I've had happenings that I can't explain either. So there's.
So you really can't rule that one out.
I can't rule it out. Yeah, can't rule it out completely. Let's see. I don't know.
But what a hey, 3 to 4 more inches of snow tomorrow for me.
And Southern Sierra says, do the Amish have a name for Bigfoot? I'm going to ask them. I am going to ask them. I'll be going, well, this coming week, I'll probably make a trip over to the Amish store. And our Amish here have a local surplus grocery store. You can go and buy dented cans and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm gonna ask them. This was actually a good conversation to have because it sparked an idea.
So the answer to that question is no. The Amish do not have a known or documented specific name for Bigfoot. Longer explanation is that they keep grounded in folklore and history. The Amish generally avoid folklore labels for unexplained creatures and do not preserve cryptid terminology in the way Native American tribes or region or settler communities sometimes do. Their culture emphasizes religious life, humility, and practicality, not monster traditions.
Well, they speak Dutch. Is Dutch also German?
That being said, the Pennsylvania Dutch and broader Germanic folk traditions, which overlap geographically and historically with Amish settlements, do include several references to wild men or hairy forest beings. These are not Amish terms, but regional folklore concepts that sometimes get incorrectly attributed to them. Wild man or wilderman, a European forest being found in Germanic folklore. Woodvos, or woodman, an old world medieval concept of a hairy forest dweller. Or hairy man, a genetic frontier descriptor by early settlers, not Amish specific. So.
Well, I looked it up. If Dutch is the same as German, and it says it's not. They sound similar.
There are
but
some
they're
commonalities in it, just like Spanish and English and French and English. There are some commonalities within it.
I bet Mick speaks French because he's from that other place.
Right.
Mick, are you still on us? Do you speak French, bud? Oh, he might have cut out on us. When we started talking about Amish, that probably did it.
Why is he Amish?
I don't know. Do they have Amish in Canada?
Well, yes, they do. They do. That I know they do. In actuality, the Amish do not speak Deutsch. They speak
Dutch.
a variant of Dutch and Germanic, if I recall right. So let me just double check that too, because
I looked it up and it said no, that the Dutch and the German languages are different, so they don't speak the same. It's similar; they have similar words, but not the same.
right.
But they always all the kids have to speak it. They don't let them speak English.
Amish Dutch is typically typically speak Pennsylvania Dutch, which is a German dialect, not Dutch. It developed from Palatine German and related dialects brought to North America in 1700s. The most Amish are trilingual. They use Pennsylvania Dutch is used at home. High German is used for church services and religious texts. And English is used when dealing with outsiders, schooling, and business, a.k.a. the outsiders are English. They call them the English.
Okay. Very cool.
Their dialect is very hard for me to tag along with because I do speak some German.
And
But their Bible is in the way they do religious services. Yes, I can follow along with some of it because I do speak some German.
And Mick says he does speak French, and they do have Amish there. Very cool.
Absolutely, I knew that.
Very cool.
Because I think a lot of the population that came from that moved to Whitehall actually were originally from the province of Quebec.
Ah, very neat.
They moved to the United States, immigrated here, and bought farms and stuff.
I can't imagine living without electricity, living without running water.
So, Bill wrote that completely wrong. So let me, this is the way to properly write that.
Well, it's common, especially we go in the local businesses around here that are Amish owned and Amish run. And it's common to hear them speaking their language. And, a lot of people maybe get kind of paranoid. Are they talking about me? More likely they're not, unless you hear English, then yeah, they're probably talking about you. But it's okay. Usually when they do that to us, me and my wife, we start speaking Thai. And so that throws them off. And yes, we talk about them. But, very cool. Bill says he's been to
Tristan
Germany.
goes, if anyone is Amish, please call the line. They don't have phones.
Oh, no, they got a phone. Yeah.
No, some don't.
Yeah, they got a phone, but they have to walk like a mile to get to it. And it's on a pole, No joke. They have phones.
Well, some of them actually rely on neighbors. Like there was this one particular they rely. They go to if they need to use the phone, they'll go to a neighbor.
Yes.
That has a phone. As they live in mixed communities.
Yeah, they can't have a phone in their house, but they can have one freaking half mile down the road.
If you ever go to the train station, you will see Amish hanging out at the train station in Amish communities because they use the train.
Yeah. Yeah, that was something else. I was really shocked.
Ever watched that movie Witness with Harrison Ford?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where Danny Glover was actually the bad guy. Danny Glover was a relatively new actor at the time.
Yeah.
And he was the bad cop.
Yeah. Yeah, they're probably not watching YouTube, though.
No. No, that's English trait.
Well, I mean, God bless them. They can choose the life to live and they want to live and live it. That's great. I don't really enjoy going camping without electricity and running water.
Oh, there we go. In Italy, you will hear the term uomo
Selvatico.
Uomo selvatico. Uomo selvatico. Wild man. Well, comment we just say Bigfoot. Uomo selvatico.
Cool.
Yes, Harrison Ford starred in that movie, Witness. And you want to hear a funny little bit is back in the day, I went to Pennsylvania Dutch country, and there's a scene in that movie where Harrison Ford uses the payphone. And that payphone looks like a regular payphone, except the handle was pink for whatever reason. Do you know that was an actual payphone booth in Lancaster County? And I saw that booth.
Really?
They stopped on our tour, and they all got out. We all got to hold the phone with the pink handle on it.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So it was actually filmed in the some of it was filmed in the Pennsylvania Dutch. But like I said, they're very adverse to having their picture taken because of the commandment, first commandment, you will, I'm Lord thy God, you will witness me, you will not worship graven images, and they feel a photograph is a graven image. So that's why they avoid having their photographs taken. And I went on a complete Amish tour. Got to meet Amish people as part of the tour. They agreed to meet with us to talk about their culture. And when we got off the bus, they said, please don't take pictures of us. You may take pictures of the farm. You may take pictures of the landscape. You may take pictures of the animals, but do not take a picture of us.
Yeah.
And we got a tour through an actual legit Amish house.
Well, that's cool.
and they discussed how they live, how they generate power. They do generate power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They usually use like water mills or windmills.
Yeah, it's got to be something from nature that they can harness, which that makes sense. I guess that's fair game.
So, I've been on a lot of interesting tours. I went on a tour in Washington, D.C. I got to see the Watergate building and got to see the Iwo Jima Memorial. And Chan's gone. We can do what we want. That is funny. Well, anyway, yeah, we're about 10 minutes out. We might as well wrap this up. It's been a good night. I'll put the Do Not Disturb back on the phone.
Yeah. Well, we did get one caller.
Well, we got two, but
a couple. The second one didn't work out too good. Well, maybe next time. But
well, I think there was a problem in his end, unfortunately.
So far, everything was working good here. So,
yeah.
But thanks, you guys, for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. If it's your first time watching, please hit that subscribe button.
Yep.
Smash the thumbs up if you hadn't already. We thank you guys. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. This is only possible because of you, and we realize that. We know this. We have the greatest audience we could ever hope to have.
Sure do.
And we want to thank each and every one of you. Thank you. See you next time.
So something I didn't get to do tonight is don't forget the Squatch Detective Report coming out, first edition, February 1st, 2026.
Yep.
And you can sign up just going to Squatchdetective.com, and you'll be able to take a look at any of that. And you won't get a confirmation because I know I know Reverend Quantum Bigfoot was saying I didn't get a confirmation or nothing. No, you won't. But what happens is it goes to my email, and it will tell me, and I will put you on the list. So don't worry about it. You'll be getting your issue come February 1st. You're all in. So that wants to, and again, it's totally free. So it's a fun little bit of a recap of stuff and articles, and you're going to get a different than the normal blog. So check it out. It's free. What more can you ask for? And anyway, we will be back here again Wednesday night on the flip side of the weekend during Hump Day. And we want to wish everybody a happy and safe, healthy week. God bless. Stay safe. And of course, keep on squatching. Love you guys. We'll see you all here Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern.
We thank you for being here with us on Squatch-D TV. If you haven't taken the time yet, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And oh yes, hit that notification bell too. We don't want you to miss anything. If you really like our content, you should consider becoming a member, and it's really inexpensive and a great way to support not only the show, but honest Bigfoot research. Everyone have a great week. Be safe and God bless. We will see you all here next time on Squatch-D TV. Keep on squatching.